You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Welcome into the Sporting Time Show. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I know it's been a little chilly, but we hope to bring the heat as far as basketball goes this week. My co-host Taryn Johnson joins me again. Taryn, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Doug. Thank you so much for having me back. And you're right, it is getting colder outside, but in the gym, that's the perfect time to be in the gym watching some high school basketball.
I know, and yes, the crowds are much different this year so far.
Not what they once were.
No.
But still having crowds is, better than nothing.
Exactly. You and I are so sick and tired about talking about COVID and its effect on high school sports, but the fact that we actually are having basketball is such a positive thing, but also there's also been a lot of cancellations early on, and we're going to see that, I think, throughout the season.
Yeah, Doug, it's kind of reminding me of the very tail end of football season, the regular season. We had so many. We were having, on a given Friday night, we were having up to 40% of the scheduled games canceled due to COVID. Obviously, it's not there yet, but it just kind of reminds me of the tail end of football, the regular season in football. But you're right, it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. Yeah. It's inevitable. We're just hoping that we keep those cancellations at a bare minimum, the minimum, possible at least on every given week.
Yes, because, if they have a case or they have some tracing where a team has to sit out, and they're playing 2 games a week, then they miss a minimum of 4 games. Some of the programs have missed 6 games already. So, yes, it's been challenging, but hats off to the administrators, to the superintendents of these counties. They've done a great job, and these coaches of trying to minimize what's happening out there because of COVID. But we do get an opportunity to talk about some really hot teams early on this season. And let's start by, talking about the boys on the boys' side.
Absolutely.
And let's go to the 16th District. Clinton County, 4-0. They're up at the All-A Classic this week. And Coach Messer's got it going. Yeah,
Coach Messer's squad is off to a fantastic start. As you mentioned, 4-0, a pair of wins over Cumberland County in those 4 wins. Off to a great start to the season. You can't ask for anything better for the Bulldogs and for Coach Messer as well.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Coach Messer in the last segment of this show. He hit a milestone that is not easily achieved.
Yes, sir. You talk about just consistent success over a long span, and that's exactly what Coach Messer has done at Clinton County, and a very well-deserved honor that we will get to later on in the show.
A couple other teams, Allen County 2-1, Greenwood 2-1 on the season, of course. Allen County lost in a triple overtime game against Greenwood, but they have a very, very talented team. Brad Bonds over at Allen County, and of course, Coach McCoy at Greenwood. They've got a talented team as well. But the team that is hitting their stride early, you know who they are.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Bowling Green Purples, they were our inaugural #1. We said we would not be surprised if they are at that #1 spot throughout the course of the regular season. But they're just cruising. Doug, 3-0. They got a big win over Greenwood, a 19-point win over McCracken County. Off to the start that we all thought we would see them at.
Yeah, I mean, they are super hot. And I went back and I compared some notes between the 2017 championship team and this team this year. Points allowed in 2017, they averaged 60.6. This year, 48.3. Now, we're only talking 3 games. Points scored, that team in 2017 was a monster. They averaged 92 points a game. This team, 75. Free throw percentage, 76.5% currently, and I forgot to put, I think 90% back there for the first 3 games, and field goal percentage, 47.5% for this team this year, which is unbelievable.
That is.
This team this year is really good for DG Sherrill coming back. And as far as the top girls team, it starts with Barron County, the Lady Trojanettes, 3-0 on the season. Very good. Monroe County, Edmonson County, South Warren, all 2-1, but very early in the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Doug. Very early, but what we've seen so far, Barron County with that statement 12-point win over Bowling Green in the season opener. They're number one, and they deserve to be number one. And then you follow with Monroe County, Edmonson County, South Warren. All fantastic starts by all three of those teams.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have so much to look forward to. And in the last block, you and I are going to talk about some very exciting play by area players. We're going to talk about our players of the week and also Coach Messer. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, a friend of the show, Coach Brandon Combs, joins us right here on WNKY NBC 40. We'll be right back. Welcome back. My next guest I have known for years and years and years. The head basketball coach at Warren East High School, also the athletic director for Warren East, and one of the most experienced coaches in the 4th Region. I'd like to welcome in Brandon Combs. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Doug. Glad to talk to you.
You are finally tipping it off this past week after having to sit out. And what has it been like, Coach, for your players to kind of wait around to play a game of basketball and also to navigate practices? And what has it been like for you?
Yeah, just like any of the fall sports and winter sports now, we've had to, as a coach, I've had to change the way I do things, after 20 plus years, and to kind of conform and change things. That way our kids have an opportunity. It was over 11 months since our last basketball game, so we were excited to actually give ourselves an opportunity to play some more basketball.
Yeah, and Coach, looking at your schedule, looking at your players, you graduated a couple of starters from last year's team, but you were very young anyway last year. Now you return young players that are experienced. How's it been in practice, and how optimistic and positive are you about this squad coming in this season?
This team is going to get better as the year goes on. We would have really benefited from June basketball and a full fall campaign, but we're in the same boat as everybody else. I'm sure a lot of other coaches you talk to would say that as well. But we have some exciting players coming back, and they're underclassmen, and we just have 3 seniors, and those kids will be counted on a lot for leadership and valuable minutes as well. But we're excited.
So when Carter and Jones graduated last year, who are you looking at, or who do you have to fill that void? We know the 3 guys that are coming back that started last year, but how are you kind of navigating through that?
Isaiah Andrews has had a great practice. We expect him to have a big season. Of course, Caleb Matlock, he spot started as a freshman, and he's a junior now and started last season. So he's going to be counted on as well, and he's going to get a lot of defensive attention from other teams as well. Sam Wheeler's back for us at the guard spot, and some kids I think who can definitely help contribute early on is a kid we're going to play at the guard. He's a junior named Nigel Jones. He's had a great fall campaign so far. Some other guys, Lincoln Lockhart's a junior. He has put in a ton of time in the gym, as much time probably that you could given the situation. He's been in the gym every chance he could get. Devon Williams, another junior we'll count on. And then of course, you throw in a couple of those football guys that most of your viewers are used to hearing the names of. In Trayton Price, who played last year for us as an 8th grader. He's going to play a ton for us. And Simon Gee, who's going to play in the post for us as well, played the offensive, defensive line, played some tight end for the football team.
So, Coach, I had mentioned in the intro that you are also the athletic director at Warren East. I believe you shared that responsibility in years past. Pre-COVID, I bet you being an athletic director looked really good. But since then, how crazy has it been for you? We got about 90 seconds left.
And it's one of those things, kind of be careful what you wish for, Doug. But I've got great help here, and 3 guys helping me, and Todd Gentry, Brian Griffin, and Patrick White. They do a wonderful job. Without them, I couldn't pull this winter off, just to be perfectly honest with you. And, I had the biggest shoes to fill filling in for Mr. Vincent, who was president of the Athletic Director Association. So, you know, some people are finding out he and I do things different. And you know, I tell people if I don't have an answer, I'll try to get an answer for you.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting. That's something I've always wanted to do as well, kind of be on the managing side and going out and watching other coaches practice, how they conduct themselves and how they lead our kids.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. I've had the opportunity to know a lot of coaches that became athletic directors, and you know, they've always said, I only had one team to coach, and now you have to be everywhere. But it's going to be an exciting season, Coach, and I want to mention to all of our viewers, if you have an opportunity to go watch Warren East play basketball, check it out because it is exciting basketball, Coach.
It is, you know, we're in a unique situation out here. It's like I like to say, we're across the river from everybody in Warren County. We appreciate it when people cross the river and come out and watch us play because we have some great sports here. We have great coaches, fall, winter, and spring as well, and great athletes, and we got a great community fan base as well.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck this season. Look forward to having you back on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Doug.
Welcome back to the show. When the Sporting Times hits the quarter-century mark, which is not that far away, my next guest will be on the top of the list for the girls' all-hoops quarter-century team. She was a ferocious high school player, great vision on the court, went on to play her collegiate at Campbellsville University. We all knew her in high school as T.J. Thomas. She is now Coach Coffey and the head coach of the Metcalfe County Lady Hornets. I'd like to bring in to the show Coach Coffey. Welcome to the show. It is great to see you. And I got to tell you, we've got a photo that we're showing right now of you making that, sitting on the floor just below the foul line, hitting that buzzer beater to win a fourth region game at Diddle Arena. Does it seem like it was that long ago?
It honestly does. You saying the few years will be the quarter century mark kind of made it seem a little longer ago, but no, it does seem like a pretty long time ago, actually.
You played for Coach Butler. You had those great battles against Franklin Simpson back then, and you go on to play at Campbellsville University. And now you're the head coach of Metcalfe County. Obviously, you're young. You bring so much experience to Metcalfe County. And you really have a nice team who we're going to talk about shortly, but just kind of talk about the difference between high school and then college and how you've brought that experience to your current position.
Well, I think the biggest difference between the two is definitely the speed of the game. In college or in high school, you feel like you're playing really fast-paced, especially if you're on a good team. And then you go to college and you realize you really wasn't playing as fast-paced as you thought. But I think that's an adjustment of that, and just the fact that in college, obviously everybody there is also a college basketball player. You know, in high school, you'll have a few that you play against. I played against some really good players in high school, but they weren't all college basketball players.
Sure.
Just the level of competition, the speed of the game. I think it's just a big difference. But I mean, I enjoyed playing both. You
know, watching you in high school, there wasn't going to be a player that outworked you. Defensively, offensively, you loved to take the pressure shot. You didn't mind trying to hit the three. Now that you're the head coach, did it take a while for your current team to kind of get used to the way that you do things?
Yes, I think, this is just my second season at Metcalfe as head coach. I was assistant coach for a while, but with us only playing 3 games so far this year, I think that's something that we're still adjusting to. Me figuring out what the best style of play is for them, and them kind of figuring out what I want as a head coach and what I'm kind of wanting as far as our offense and defense goes. So that's something actually the past few days that we've kind of been filling out, testing some different things out, to kind of see what works for us to work together, me as a head coach with my assistants and them as my players.
You know, you have a young team. Harper, Blythe, Davis, and London are all underclassmen, very talented. And, looking at your team, even though we're 3 games into it, you certainly have scores top to bottom on your team. Just kind of talk about the talent that you have on this team.
You know, I have tremendous talent. I have great players. Like you said, some are younger. I have a couple of seniors. But overall, we have really, really good scores, which is great to have.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you know, everybody can't score 20 points in one night.
Right.
And that's kind of been something we're working on, just getting used to working the ball around. And, you know, we get a lot of good shots right now. We've been talking about getting great shots. You know, not settling for the good shot. You know, if you can pass it one more time and get that great shot to one of your teammates, that's what we want to do. So I think, and it's not really that they play selfish. They are good scorers. So when they're open, they want to shoot it. But, you know, we're trying to figure out what is a great shot and how we can get to that.
Coach, real quick, we got about 30 seconds left. You're tipping off the All-A Classic. How much does that mean to you as a program?
I know at Metcalfe County, the All-A is huge. It's a big deal. I enjoy it. We won the All-A regional tournament 2 years ago under Josh Hurt. And, you know, going to Richmond, that was a great experience. And being from Barron and being from a big school, I'd never experienced Class A. You know, I didn't really get what it was all about. And I really, really enjoy being able to coach and play in that All-A tournament. I think that's a great experience for the girls, and I know that they look forward to it every year, and it's one of their goals.
Coach, thank you very much. It was great to see you again, even though it's through Zoom. We'll get you in studio soon. Great. Good luck this season. And, again, we'll get you back in the show. And thank you again very much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Taryn and I are going to wrap things up in just a minute. Welcome back. Well, the much anticipated Players of the Week are here.
Yes, sir. I've been looking forward to this all week long, Doug.
Let me tell you something. This was not an easy go.
Yeah.
In what is, I guess, considered week 3 now. There was some unbelievable play on both the boys and the girls side.
Yeah, no lie. I mean, just fantastic performances across the board. You're right, this was a tough decision for us to make in both the boys and the girls' respects, but some well-deserving players that we will award Players of the Week, as well as some good honorable mentions that we have as well.
Let's start with the girls' basketball honorable mention, and we got to talk about Edmonson County senior guard Katie Lindsay. Her last game, she puts up a solid 20 points.
Yeah, 21 points, 8 of 17 from the field. You love seeing efficiency like that, and really a fantastic performance and a big win over Logan County.
Yeah, that's huge. And speaking of Logan County, another senior for the Lady Cougars, and Abby Hinton, she puts up 17 points. Again, another solid performance.
Yeah, obviously not the result that Logan County, that the Lady Cougars wanted in that 22-point loss, but a great game by Abby Hinton and certainly something to build off of going forward.
You know, this next one was a little bit tough. And if we could have Players of the Week, which we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, that's right.
So we could kind of say that. But Bowling Green's junior center, Linkayla James, man, what a game.
Now, Doug, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is not the last time we will hear Linkayla James's name in this Girl Player of the Week category. But you mentioned in the win versus Greenwood, a 14-point win, 33 points, 17 boards. And what I love the most, this is my favorite stat, 12 of 16 from the field, 6 of 6 from the charity stripe. That's as efficient a performance as you could possibly get. Kudos to her. What an absolutely outstanding performance by Linkayla.
You know, you're absolutely right. And coaches love the stat 6 for 6.
That's right.
From the charity line.
That's right.
Because when it gets down to the last few seconds and you're at the line, you want that player that can hit those free throws.
Absolutely.
But this week's Player of the Week on the girls' side is J.C. Harper. She's a junior guard from Metcalfe County. She hits a buzzer beater to win, and we have the footage as you're seeing right now. 24 points on the night, but I know you've done this. I've done that. Our viewers have done this. When you're a little kid, you're out in the driveway or you're out wherever, and you're counting it down, 5, 4, 3, and you take the shot, right?
That's right.
And you win the game. Well,
you're dribbling on the gravel,
right.
you take the shot
That's right.
and swish it, and that's exactly what J.C. Harper did in that three-point win over Russellville. Her only three-point attempt of the night. I love that stat.
And
Fantastic.
you and I, we could do it over and over again.
right.
It may not hit that three-pointer,
right.
but J.C. Harper did it. Congratulations. You are our player of the week. Well-deserved, and congratulations to all the honorable mention players as well.
Absolutely.
How about the boys? Let's get to that. Honorable mention, man, this is really tough. Greenwood's Cade Stennett, just a crafty player, puts up 21 points in their triple overtime win against Allen County.
Yeah, fantastic job by Cade Stennett. And another honorable mention on the same team, Mark Grant pours in 27 points in the same game, 7 of 13 from 3. He was on fire, and a fantastic performance by both of those guys.
Yeah, and on the losing end of that game in triple overtime, how about Jax Cooper puts up 29 points, not only a great quarterback in Allen County, but obviously a really good basketball player. Congratulations to him. But the winner of the player of the week, the one that takes the cake, is Allen County Scottsville senior guard Mason Shirley, 41 points. What a performance.
Hey, Doug, when you're in fuego like Mason Shirley was the other night, you can't not win player of the week. 41 points, you're right. 8 of 14 from two-point range, 4 of 13 from 3. My favorite stat in this one, though, 13 to 13 from the line. Job well done, Mason.
That's
Job
amazing.
well done.
That's dedication. That's discipline. Obviously, he spends a lot of time after practice or before doing those free throw shots.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to Mason Shirley, 41 points. That is a bunch. And it really doesn't matter. It was a triple overtime loss, but what a great effort by both teams to get that done.
For sure. Instant classic.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun this week. We can't wait to see what happens next week. We do want to remind you that you can download the Sporting Times app on Roku and also Amazon Fire TV and see all sorts of live basketball games on your big screen. But that's going to be a wrap for us this week. Taryn, thanks a lot for coming back.
Thank you for having me, Doug. It's always a pleasure.
It's been fantastic. For Doug Thompson, Taryn Johnson, have a fantastic week. We'll see you back here Saturday at 6 on WNKY NBC 40.